Once again, Kamala Harris kicks out a protester when she starts talking about getting rid of babies. I'm going to show you guys the HD clip, and then we're going to talk about all of this, and then I'm going to show you guys evidence how now Christians have the power in this election, and Kamala Harris is terrified.
One of the most restrictive abortion bans in our country. In Texas, abortion is banned from the moment of conception. You know what? Just send them to that small rally down the street. It'll be fine. Some people don't have a great sense of direction, but that's okay. We'll show them the way. We'll show them the way. Because we know what's at stake, and we will not be silenced. We know what's happening here in Texas. Doctors and...
Okay, so this guy does end up getting kicked out. He's literally ushered away. I can't see any signs of him actually getting physically pushed or anything like that like the other protesters. But I did see a funny comment on one of these videos that if Kamala Harris keeps kicking all of these Christians out of her own rally, eventually that other rally she keeps calling smaller is going to have about 100 million attendees, all Christians.
Just send them to that small rally down the street.
Okay, so I don't know who Kamala's comedy writer is, but they need to change the script because now Kamala has shown her hands that she is well aware of what the media is saying, what Christians are saying, all Christians, Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, that Christians want acknowledgement, they want an apology, and they want Kamala Harris to address the fact that she's kicking Christian protesters out of her rally. She said this exact same thing. Go down to the smaller rally down the road to the Christian protesters who got kicked out of her original event.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing, and I don't think many people realize this. The Christian now holds the power to this vote. I'm going to show you guys something.
One of the things that was most alarming that I saw recently was this study that came out from Barna. Did you guys see this study that showed, maybe some people have talked about it already, I'm not sure, but 32 million church-going Christians are unlikely to vote in this election. Let me say that number again, 32 million. You know the last election in 2020 was decided by thousands of votes, not millions of votes? This election is ours if Christians will do their duty and elect the right leadership.
Now, I'm going to play you guys some more evidence that's actually quite alarming and shocking, but he makes a distinction within his data. He says 35 million churchgoers. Now, for a lot of Christians out there, and to include myself at times, we don't always go to church. Let's humble ourselves and remember, look, there are still a lot of Christians out there who are just not going to church. They should be, but the 35 million he's talking about are the ones in church. How about the rest of the tens of millions who don't go to church, who consider themselves Christians and are still going to vote? That's a lot. That could also sway the vote into the majority vote. I'm going to show you guys something.
Trump may finally get his great white whale. Harris versus Trump national margin. You mentioned that New York Times poll, a tie. That's actually right in the middle of the spectrum when we're talking about recent polling data. You don't have to look very far to find Donald Trump ahead nationally. He was up by 2 points in the CNBC poll, up by 3 in the Wall Street Journal poll. Very close races within the margin of error. But then the same thing on the other side, right? You have Harris up by 3 points according to Ipsos. The Say 24 YouGov poll, that's a bunch of academics, also has Harris up by 3. But the bottom line is, with the popular vote, which we really haven't focused upon, a very, very tight race, John. Fact is, Donald Trump is very much in a position he could win the popular vote, which, of course, is something he would absolutely love to do.
Now, look, we know that the popular vote doesn't win elections, but the data point I'm trying to show you and maybe try to encourage some of you is that the Christian really does hold the power right now in this vote, especially if you consider you got 35 million Christians out there where in that last data set I showed you, they know that they're not going to vote, plus add the tens on tens on tens of millions of other Christians who might not vote as well. that is a lot of Americans who are not going to vote. I don't think people realize how smart these campaigns are as far as trying to sway votes and try and target certain audiences. And the Trump campaign is really going hard right now, specifically on the Catholic denomination of Christianity. In fact, RFK just very recently put out a very powerful statement for the voters, specifically in Pennsylvania, Christian voters, to vote for Donald Trump.
My Catholicism provided the foundation for a lifetime of striving to perfect my personal relationship with God. Two features of Catholicism are the notions of original sin and the concept of a forgiving God. Our job is to strive to perfect ourselves through conscious contact with our Creator, knowing that in human form, we're never going to achieve perfection. We'll always slip, but each time we get to get up and strive again. The same's true for America. Even when we don't live up to our national ideals, we get to remedy our shortfalls through unified action. That hope has led me to support Donald Trump. President Trump has promised to take bold action on our economy, on the border, and on restoring children's health. The Democratic Party has become the party of war, censorship, and corruption. Catholics may disagree on many issues, but we must find a way to love our children more than we hate each other. I hope you'll join me in supporting Donald Trump.
Now, the clear distinction I want to make, and I think a lot of Christians are getting confused here, I would say a majority of Christians actually do not see Donald Trump as really that much of a Christian or represents that much of Christian ideologies or values, but he has amassed a team around him who truly has. I mean, even on the Kamala Harris side of things, Tim Walz, I'm sorry, he's talked about faith maybe one time, but he only talked about one verse. And now even Barack Obama is getting really comfortable on making fun of Christian ideologies and values.
He decided, I'm not going to answer questions anymore. Let's just play music for half an hour. So he's standing there and he's swaying to Ava Maria and YMCA.
For those of you that are not aware, Ava Maria is a very prominent song within the Catholic Church and of some Catholic traditions. So when Barack Obama stands up on stage and makes fun of that song, he's making fun of the entirety of the Catholic Church, not only in the United States. Now, I will grant, most likely, Obama is just trying to be funny and he's living in the moment. He's trying to get two elected officials to win a campaign that they're losing in. So again, I'm not going to hate too much on Barack Obama. I don't agree with almost anything he has to say, but I'm just pointing out the fact that he's making fun of Ava Maria. And again, a lot of Kamala's team are very comfortable and okay with picking on the Christian. Okay, so in conclusion, am I surprised that once again Kamala Harris kicks out another Christian protester from her event? Not really. What I am surprised about, though, is that she went back to the original script of, hey, you're at the wrong rally, go to the other rally down the road. Now, could this mean that this is just the line that she was told to say by her comedian writer or whoever's in charge of her writing? Maybe. Could it mean that she's just referencing back to what she had done to the other protest? Probably, maybe. But it goes to show, once again, Kamala Harris is losing more and more control of the Christian vote. At this point, it's almost like she doesn't care anymore. She did pull that stunt over at the Baptist church, which, again, didn't actually go well for a lot of Christians who saw the event. But I just wanted to make this video because, once again, the mainstream is not talking about it. So I hope people see this video, and you guys leave some of your comments down below. I'm curious what you guys have to say. We'll see you later.